What's the worst announcement your school ever made? It started like any normal Thursday. The bell had just rung for second period when the PA system crackled on. Our principal's voice came through, flat and forced. Students and staff, please remain in your classrooms. A lockdown is in effect until further notice. At first, nobody panicked. We'd done drills before, some kids even laughed, thinking it was a drill. But then, we noticed our teacher lock the door and turn off the lights without a word. She looked shaken. That's when the rumors started. Someone said they saw police outside. Another said their friend in the cafeteria had heard shouting. No one really knew what was going on. My friend Jasmine was in the room with me, sitting right by the door. She whispered that her sister was texting her from the gym, saying they'd been rushed out the back by staff. My phone buzzed. A message from my brother. Are you okay? Mom's freaking out. She saw something on Facebook. That was the moment I realized this wasn't a drill. Outside our window, I saw a police car pull up onto the grass and two officers sprint toward the building. We were stuck in that dark classroom for over 3 hours. Nobody knew what was happening. Phones buzzed with updates from family and friends, but nothing official. Teachers weren't allowed to say anything. Then finally, the PA came back on. Students, the lockdown has been lifted. Please remain in your classrooms until dismissed. There will be an assembly in the auditorium at 1:30. No explanation. Just that. We were eventually walked to the auditorium in complete silence. The entire school gathered, packed wall to wall, everyone buzzing with fear and speculation. Our principal stepped up to the podium. He looked pale. This morning, a student brought a weapon to school, he began. You could hear the air get sucked out of the room. A fellow student saw something suspicious and reported it immediately to a teacher, who followed protocol and contacted the authorities. No one was hurt. The weapon was recovered. The student is in custody. You could feel the weight of what almost happened settle over the entire auditorium. But then, the next part came. Due to ongoing investigations, we are required to continue school as scheduled. All classes will resume tomorrow and final exams will proceed as planned. That was when the murmurs started. Someone said out loud, "Are you serious?" Another person stood up and asked, "What about people who knew him? People who were in his class?" The principal just repeated, "We are following district guidelines." That's when the crowd started shifting. A girl from the junior class stood up and walked out, then a few more. Before long, a wave of students were walking out silently, leaving the auditorium one row at a time. No one yelled, no one ran, we just left. We gathered in the courtyard, not as a protest, but because none of us could sit through math or history, like nothing had happened. Eventually, a few teachers came outside and stood with us, not saying anything, just standing. That night, news broke about the attempted shooting. The student had been planning it for weeks. He'd brought a loaded weapon in his backpack. Only one friend had known, and when that friend told a teacher, they stopped it just in time. The next day, the school board reversed its decision. Exams were postponed, mental health days were approved, assemblies were held every morning with therapists available for anyone who needed it, but the worst part wasn't just the threat or how close we came to tragedy. It was the announcement telling us to keep going like nothing happened, like our fear didn't matter, like our lives were a footnote in a policy manual. We didn't forget. None of us did, and we made sure the district didn't either.